Hi, I'm Sohail. Today I'm going to talk about photosynthetic pigments. The main points of the lesson are photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, reaction center and antenna complex, P680 and P700 chlorophyll molecules. Plants make an amazing variety of pigment molecules. Plants are creatures of light. They sense light to control their growth and rapid responses to the environment. They use light as their source of energy. Plants and many other prokaryotic and eukaryotic organisms absorb radiant energy of sunlight and convert it into chemical potential energy. These organisms then use the chemical energy to convert simple inorganic raw materials like carbon dioxide and water into organic molecules like sugar. The conversion of light energy in the form of sugar and other organic molecules, that is called photosynthesis. Chlorophylls are major photosynthetic pigments. They absorb photons and transfer excited electrons to nearby electron accepting molecules, the primary electron acceptor. So, primary acceptor molecules, photosystem 1, photosystem 2, which are pigment molecules, all are embedded in thylakoid membrane. The reactions of photosynthesis are divided into two phases: the light dependent reactions that takes place in thylakoid membrane, and carbon fixation reaction, which is light independent reaction that takes place in stroma. Light energy is converted to chemical energy in the light dependent reactions which are associated with thylakoid membrane. Light absorbing pigments, they are organized with proteins and other molecules into a large complex that is called photosystems, and photosystems are embedded in thylakoid membrane. So, this is a photosystem, and this photosystem, it consists of two parts. One is called reaction center and second is known as here antenna complex. Photosystems are the sites or places at which light is absorbed and converted into chemical energy. Plants, green algae, cyanobacteria, they have two types of photosystems, photosystem 2 and photosystem 1. They carry out different parts of light dependent reactions. Photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, they are embedded in thylakoid membrane. During light reaction, photosystem 2 functions before photosystem 1, but photosystem 1 was discovered first, and the systems were given their numbers before their order of use in the reactions was worked out. Each photosystem that consists of two closely associated components. Number 1 is known as reaction center that has chlorophyll A molecule, and second is the antenna complex that is also known as light harvesting complex. Reaction center of photosystem 1 and photosystem 2 are similar in structure in plants, algae and cyanobacteria. The antenna complex that differ in size among species and even within the species depending on light conditions. Photosystem 2 that contain 40 to 300 chlorophyll pigment molecules depending on the size of antenna complex, while photosystem 1 also contains variable numbers of chlorophyll molecules, around 160 in plants and almost twice in case of cyanobacteria. Chlorophyll molecules which are embedded in thylakoid membrane, they are also associated with membrane proteins, and in this form they are arranged efficiently to optimize the capture of light energy. The reaction center, it contains chlorophyll A molecules with two key proteins that facilitate the transfer of electrons from chlorophyll to the primary acceptor. Chlorophyll A molecule in the reaction center of photosystem 2 are called P680. P stands for pigment because they absorb light at a wavelength of 680 nanometer. Now, the chlorophyll A molecule in the reaction center of photosystem 1 are called P700 because they absorb light at a wavelength of 700 nanometer. When a pigment molecule absorbs light energy, that energy is transferred from one molecule to another molecule through a process that is known as resonance, directly from one pigment molecule to another pigment molecule. Ultimately, that is shifted to reaction center. When the energy reaches to P700 chlorophyll A molecule in photosystem 1 or P680 chlorophyll A molecule in photosystem 2, then electron is raised to higher energy level. Light energy in the form of photons is absorbed by the pigment molecules of the antenna complex and passed to the P680 or P700 chlorophyll molecules in the reaction centers through photon transfer process. Let us watch this simulation to examine the energized electrons being passed from one photosystem to another. To sum up, photosynthesis that takes place in two phases: light dependent reactions and light independent reactions. Light dependent reactions that takes place in thylakoid membrane and light independent reactions that takes place in stroma. Photosystems are the sites at which light energy is absorbed and transformed into chemical energy. Photosystems are the sites at which light is absorbed and converted into chemical energy. Plants, green algae and cyanobacteria, they have two types of photosystem, that is photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. Photosystem 2 functions before photosystem 1, but photosystem 1 was discovered first and the systems were given their numbers before their order of use in the reactions. Each photosystem that consists of two closely associated components. Number 1 is reaction center and number 2 is antenna complex. Antenna complex is aggregate of chlorophyll and carotenoid pigments and reaction center that has chlorophyll A molecules. Chlorophyll A molecules in the reaction center of photosystem 1 are called P700 because they absorb light at a wavelength of 700 nanometer. And chlorophyll A molecule in the reaction center of photosystem 2 are called P680 because they absorb light at a wavelength of 680 nanometer. Let's watch this slideshow.